Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 Index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed right here on the Nasdaq stock market. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining me this afternoon, we have Chris Dearborn. He's a managing director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk. And Chris, the Nasdaq-100 trading higher along with the broader market, it seems as if it's taking a positive cue as states, even some places in Europe, are starting to reopen.
Jill, thanks for having me on again. Equities have absolutely extended Friday's move, and the advance here is nothing but astonishing, really. There's no economic data, nothing major coming out of the weekend, a lot of little pluses, little positives across the board. I think that's what market participants are looking for here. The advanced decline line is starting to increase a little bit. You're starting to see a lot of the majors start to move up, but more importantly, we're going to get a look at a number of different companies in the Nasdaq-100 composite this week on an earnings basis. So we can really dig into some of those numbers and see how everyone's doing and what they think is going to be going on for the next couple of quarters here.
All right, let's take a look at our first chart of the day, the Nasdaq-100 on a daily, just to see what the technicals might be saying.
Absolutely. So we're starting to see a nice top being put in place in the Nasdaq Nasdaq 100 here. We're trading north of 8,800 today. We hit a high of 8,880. We're up about 0.6%, trying trading towards those highs that we made right after the open this morning. But on the Fibonacci retracement level, we've confirmed that bullish pattern. The question is whether we're seeing a bearish hanging man candlestick coming into the index or not, which will put a top in place. And that kind of makes sense considering the run up that we've had. The index is up over 30% since the March lows. It's actually positive for the year, believe it or not. And we're only off a little over 9% from the February highs at 97 and change. So to have the index take a pause here while we look at the individual names within that index makes a lot of sense, considering everything that's going on. Plus, we want to see how the integration goes on the individual states here in the U.S. on reopening small businesses and people starting to get back to work, and more importantly, people commingling to see if the virus spreads, is contained, or worse, comes back. So a pause here is not really a bad idea. We definitely confirmed that 61.8% retracement level, which was 8,600, and we're approaching that 76.4, which is 9,000. This 88 to 88.90 level is a good place for the index to consolidate at the moment and stay above that 61.8% retracement level.
All right, and let's take a look at our next chart here. This is what we call our heat map, the stocks that are outperforming and also underperforming in the index.
Absolutely. You got some of the leaders that we've been used to seeing up here, but also a couple of other companies giving points to the Nasdaq 100. Tesla's been a leader, Nvidia's been a leader, Comcast has been good, Amgen, Starbucks has been kind of interesting here. It rallied back on the news of China reopening and kind of paused a little bit. But you see a couple of other names that are up pretty big. Dollar Tree, Ross Stores, CSX is having a good day today. So what you're seeing is a fair amount of sectors participating in this move, and it's not just the one-off tech or the one-off retail names that have been kind of strong here. As a matter of fact, all the major indices within the index are higher. Industrials are up over 3.3%. The utilities are up, healthcare, discretionary tech, staples, and communications, which is trading just north of the green level there. So you've seen a lot of good names, and the leaders that we've had have only sold off slightly. Amazon had a wonderful week last week. Apple's only off 0.5%. Microsoft even less. Facebook's down a little bit there as well. So what you're looking at, the companies that have given us leadership have passed the baton to some of the newer companies that have been struggling here. And those companies that passed the baton, at least for today, are not off by much.
All right, Chris, great to hear from you as always. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks, Jill.
All right, thanks for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.